Alright, the next story quest is a capital idea given to us by Kryle. We are still in the classroom in Learner's Meet in Phenomenon in Old Charlian, where the guy whose name I cannot pronounce because it's French just taught us about ether and some such other things. Here we go. Well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives and the mysteries of life itself for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I've a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way, you could better acquaint yourself with Ki Aliapo, as a scholar suggested, while I share our findings with Raha. So, sometimes when they say Raha as a nickname for him, like, who is that? What's a Raha? And then it's like, oh, Garaha. It makes sense. Anyway, wait. So, oh, so I'm not supposed to talk. Okay, I'm not gonna talk to Ki Aliapo. I don't have. Let's figure out what the requisites are, because I'm pretty sure I don't have. I think it's crafting. Ki Aliapo wants us to be crafters. We'll find out here in a second. Yep. This Disciples of the Land or Hand level 80 or plus, which I don't have. I have not crafted on this character at all. Pretty sure. Yep. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Not even unlocked any of them on this character, so it's all good. I'm gonna have to stay paladin, which is fine. I have some freaking anxiety when it comes to tanking, because I can pick up 2 groups and tank them just fine. I don't like wall-to-wall pulls as a healer or as a tank, to be entirely honest. As a DPS, I couldn't care less. It's fun, but I can pull 2 groups, pop cooldowns, you know, whatever, but parties are, even if they're supposed to be nice in this game, they can still be buttheads and try to like rush you, and it sucks. I hate it. So we're in the Valdesian Annex. We are entering our chamber here where the maps plaster all over the walls, and we have Alice, Graha, Kryle, Estinian. Oh, Estinian and Alphino. We'll talk to Graha to continue. Cutscene. Ah, welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studium proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow scions. As expected, news of the warding scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Limsa Lominsa. Alice, so the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilbrand. It's a nod from me. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? Says Kryle. He gives a shrug and goes to do so. Kryle follows. Cutscene goes dark for a second, and now we have those wooden box crate thingies with their white wrappings still on them. Phew, I didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I did. I shouldn't complain, though. Fritra and the alchemists of the great work put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. Alice kind of tilts her head. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape from the forum's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. Salfino. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. To Limsa Lominsa. To Limsa Lominsa. Blah 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 blah. Enunciation. Get some water here. Refresh my retainers. What the fuck does that mean? Pardon my language. What the butt monkey to say? No. I'm going to Limsa. I can just nope. Do my free teleport to Gridania. Jumpin' Jack Flash. It's a gas. Refresh my retainers. I still like with how you can have your retainers go out and gather for you. Is that kind of like what I'm probably talking about? I don't know. So we use our free teleport to Gridania. We use the 120 gil airship to Limsa Lominsa. And we are going to the main aetherite. We gotta go here. Sprint. Boom, 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 boom. I zoned in to someone saying, wait, WoW is racist? Like World of Warcraft? I didn't think so, but I don't know why they'd be asking. So the Elder Seedseer is here as well, says Xanthale, the elevator guard. I think we have a cutscene. You do. Please talk so I don't have to. Fuck. I mean, darn. My apologies for calling you away from Charlene at such short notice. I can't do her voice. Merlvib. Oh, on the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. 'Twas only right that this discussion be conducted in person, says Kane-sama. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? Nanamo gonna talk here? It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlian, the allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts, with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge in abductions of kobolds, Hagen, Ixul, and Ananta have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph in Razet Han has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace, and it is you, the scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telophoroi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Isilbard contingent. To think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered, robbed of their free will to serve the Telophoroids' every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I only ask that in choosing to remember we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Ulayanjay observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we'd failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Telophoroi. They're certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Y'shtola's analysis of the tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based on her observations inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be assured is not being harnessed for our benefit. It would surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down, along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good, says Estinian, but what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. Melvib nods. We want you and your scales to join the Isilbard contingent, and consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that, says Alisay. To me, I nod. My options are for honor and glory, for the people of Garlemald, nope, for revenge against the Telophoroi. For honor and glory. Pat my chest a couple times. Couldn't have put it better myself, says Melvib. Y'shtola, Thancred, and Ulayanjay have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily, for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you've delivered the warding scales to Ala Mhigan, the contingent will embark on its journey to Isilbard. Raban and Lord Emmerich are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telophoroi so much as draw steel. As for you, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They are not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. Definitely the last video for the night. Gonna make dinner and I just am not enunciating and stuff the way I would like to, so yeah, last one. Let's get my... Okay, headshot. Oh, my headshot's been there the entire time, I'm sorry. But they weren't talking, so... I still like to remove it so that I can get a good screen grab if I need to. 655 to... Hold on. Let's go... I think it's cheaper. We'll find out in a second, though. So 655 that way. It is, yeah, about a third of that. 232. So we took our free teleport to Gridania. Had a teleport over to the Ala Mhigan Quarter. We mount up and we run through the twisting and turning pathways of the Ala Mhigan Quarter until we reach that staircase that heads up to... What does this head up to? Like a Capitol building? It's just blocked off. It's always been blocked off, but here's Raban, Graha, Estinian, Emmerich, Alisag, Alphino. Yeah. Cutscene. Ah, the Wanderers return. You've been busy, bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them, says Raban. You should be proud. Those warding scales of yours are what made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Emmerich be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Isilbard contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid unto the Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all, says Estinian. Sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side, charging into the fray. Alas, I've battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. I hate to say it, but Lord Emmerich's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Isilbard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Oh, can't remember what his new name now. Gaius. So it's Gaius, but the Black Wolf, the Wolf, something like that. But it's Gaius. Much has occurred since we parted ways in Werlet. From what I gather, the protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So you're not coming with us, says Estinian. Strange, I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Telophoroi have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every mote of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the Isilbard contingent, it would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. My options are, we will deliver your people from harm in your stead. I doubt they'll be pleased to see the champion of Eorzea set foot on Garlean soil. I understand, Werlet is in your hands. We will deliver your people from harm in your stead. Turns to me. For what it is worth, you have my gratitude. You and your comrades have the strength and courage to deliver my countrymen. I am certain of it. Maxima next to him. In light of Gaius's rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. I might ask you to escort our friends inside, says Raban. Maxima nods. You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two, and if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you, all of you, says Emmerich. A capital idea is complete. We get a pewter chest gear coffer. That's a weird way to put that. Item level 525, still too low for everything else I have, but we'll take it. Any extra cutscenes? No, okay, so that's the end of the story quest. A capital idea. That's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.